Well, hello everyone and welcome back to Chef Shelley's Kitchen. So we've got a little treat today. We're actually going to make sweet potato pudding. And again, a Southern favorite. This is actually my Aunt Gladys's recipe. And I've added a couple of little extra things to put a little Shelley spin on it, if you will. So we're going to actually do this in two parts. I'm going to show you all the things to mix together, and on the Facebook page I'll also just tell you what the specific ingredients are and how much you're supposed to use. So don't worry so much about getting all of it. Just more than anything, follow just kind of how I put everything together. Then we're going to put it in the oven. We'll end the taping, then we'll come back, and then I'm going to dress it up a little bit with two neat little things. So the first thing when you're making sweet potato pudding, you want to start with about 4 medium-sized sweet potatoes, and you're going to boil them just in the skin until they're soft, not mushy, but soft. Then you're going to peel them. You can either wait till they cool. I like to peel mine when they're still a little warm. It just seems as though the skin is a lot easier to take off then. So once you peel those, you're going to put it in a bowl, and then you're going to use your potato masher and mash them up. For the sake of time, I've already mashed mine up. So again, this is 4 sweet potatoes mashed up. 4 times, we've already done it. So to this, we're actually going to add 4 eggs, and I've cracked the eggs already, so we're going to just mix those eggs in there. We're also going to add 2 tablespoons of flour. Once again, I'm going to put all this together for you, and I'm just realizing that I forgot my sugar, so you're going to see me reach over here for a second because I definitely need my sugar. And we're going to use about a cup of sugar, and what I can say is you're going to vary this based upon kind of what you like in terms of sweetness. I don't really like using very much sugar to anything, quite frankly, and then when you get really good sweet potatoes, you have to do it anyway because they're already sweet. But we are going to add about a cup of sugar, so let me pour the other ingredients in and then we'll get to our sugar. We're also going to add, this is actually one of the small cans of evaporated milk. It's about 5 full ounces, so you can add that to the mixture. We're going to also add, this is a tablespoon of vanilla, and then we're going to add a teaspoon of lemon, so add those together. And then you're also going to add about a teaspoon, and I'm going to get this out here, a teaspoon of allspice. Just put that in there. And I'm going to say about a tablespoon of cinnamon. So cinnamon is the thing that really kind of makes this dish, okay, stand out. All right. And then, quite frankly, I'm going to kind of taste it to see if that's really kind of enough. I also have already pre-melted butter. So this is 1.5 sticks of butter. So we're going to put that in there. And I wanted to put that in there because I need to measure out my sugar that I forgot to pre-measure. But you guys are okay with it. I know you like seeing me in action. So it shows that as a cook, sometimes you forget what you need. So I'm going to measure again just about a cup of sugar. See, that's just about right. Again, some people use more. I vote for less versus more. So that's just about a cup, maybe even a little less, which is fine by me. Now I've got a 1/4 cup of just 1% milk that I'm going to add as well. But before I do that, I'm going to go on and get this started in terms of stirring it. Now, what I've done in advance is I've actually preheated my oven to 375. And once this goes into the oven, we're going to actually keep it in the oven for about an hour. But again, I'm always kind of weary of saying exactly an hour. You really have to kind of watch it you'll be able to tell from the outside. And then I'm also going to show you a finished product. So you'll be able to look at the finished product and determine, yeah, this looks like Shelley's potato pudding. So we're just going to kind of mix this up here really well. And I can tell I'm not actually going to be able to need to use very much water. I'm sorry, my 1% milk, because this is already doing very, very, very well. As a matter of fact, what I think I'm going to do is just from this texture. And the hard part here is in your potatoes. You know, 4 medium-sized potatoes might give you more than what you need. And sometimes it's a little less. So you have to kind of vary it a little bit. So I'm just kind of mix this really nicely. And what I'm going to do, because you don't want it to be too soupy, and this is a nice texture, but I think I would like it just a little bit thicker. So I used, again, two tablespoons of flour. I'm going to add another tablespoon of flour. So let me put this back, and then we're going to get our flour. And this is, again, kind of the adjustments that you have to make when you're cooking, because you don't have some absolutes. You don't have an absolute medium-sized sweet potato, so you're going to have to improvise. And this is why my dad, when he taught me how to cook, he would never, you know, tell me a cup of this or a tablespoon of that. It was always about the texture. And I always say that's the difference in knowing how to make a dish versus cook. So 2 different things. We're going to start this. As you can probably see or not, it's got a little bit of a thicker texture. And as I said, you have to vary it just based upon your sweet potatoes. I'm not going to add any milk to this because, quite frankly, it already has enough liquidity to it. So we've already added the evaporated milk. That's going to do great. All right, so with this, I'm going to go on and pour it into my dish, into my baking pan, like so. And just about there. And then one thing I like to do, my aunt doesn't do this with her dish, but I kind of like it with mine, is I like to add some crushed pecans to the top. And I'm going to add some now, and then when it's actually like almost done, when we take it out, I'm going to add a few more to the top, and then I'm also going to add a little bit of coconut, okay? But you don't want to really cook the coconut. It just adds a different kind of texture to it and sweetness. And as I've mentioned before, whenever you're dealing with carbs, we've got potatoes. Sweet potatoes are better for you than white potatoes. It's still a carb, so you always need to balance that with protein. So again, if you're eating this, just make sure you're pairing it up with something. But I put pecans on it. That actually helps with it. So I'm really going to just kind of sprinkle these pecans over the top of it, just like so. Okay. And I cut up, I guess, about a half a cup of pecans, and I'm going to add some more, but this is what I'm going to put in the oven. So this is going to kind of bake with it, and then we're going to come back to it, okay? So here's what the dish, I can't turn it to the side quite, but it looks basically like that. And we're going to go on and put it in the oven now. We're going to leave it in for, I'm going to say again, about an hour, but I'm going to keep an eye on it. About 45 minutes, I'm going to be taking a look at it just to make sure it's kind of brown, it's thickened up. So let's go on and do that. And we're going to put it in. Okay. So again, check on it at about 45 minutes. Everyone's oven is different, even when you set it for the same temperature. It just seems to vary. But I'm going to show you, though, just kind of how it should look once it's finished, and then we're also going to add the coconut and some additional pecans to it. So that's it for now. We're going to place pause on the video, and then come back and finish up this wonderful dish. All right, so stay tuned. So we're back. We've had the pudding in the oven for just about an hour. And I said just about because, again, it kind of depends upon, how it looks. So I wanted to be able to show you how it looks when we take it out of the oven. So we're going to go on and take it out now. And I checked on it a little earlier. And I'm going to check the texture of it. And it does look absolutely delicious. So I'm going to just hold it up this way, but then I'm also going to dip some out. So you can kind of see the consistency there. The pecans have kind of baked themselves a little bit into it. Now what I like to do is, this is my little extra treat. Again, not something that my Aunt Gladys puts on hers, but I like to add it. And so just take some, fresh coconut, if you will, and just sprinkle it on the top. Hey, if you want to put it in while it's still in the oven, you can do that. I just think it adds an extra little something to it. So while it's still hot, I like to put the coconut kind of on top like that. Okay, and just like so. And I'm just going to kind of scoop some out. So again, you can kind of see what the texture is like. So again, it's meant to be more like a pudding, as you can see. And I will absolutely take a picture of it so that you can see it. And, you can serve it on your plate with other things. Or again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually try it myself. So again, here's kind of the texture. I will absolutely post a picture of it so you can see it a little better. And this is really, really hot because I took it out of the oven, but let's give it a taste. Delicious, 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 delicious. And the added benefit of the pecans, along with the coconut, just a nice little treat. I'll take a little bit more. Delicious. I better stop because my husband's going to be wondering where is his. So thanks again for tuning in to Chef Shelley's Kitchen. A nice little treat. Again, this is a little different from what I've done in the past. What makes this healthy is that we're using sweet potatoes. Of course, the sugar, you're going to have to monitor that. I used a cup, if you remember. That's sweet enough for this particular treat. So thanks again, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.